Hello everyone, I'm Mitesh Lohar. Today I'm going to talk something about personal protective equipment. Well, personal protective equipment has a vital role in preventing healthcare workers from transmitting a deadliest disease like SARS-CoV-2. But during this pandemic, the concept of personal protective equipment has changed. It has seen panic buying by hospital and individual of course because of high demand generated of PPE around the globe, and that left scrambling to find an alternative. There are two kinds of masks basically used in healthcare setting. Surgical mask are loose fitting on face and it generally protects against large droplet dispersed through cough and sneezes. In contrast, N95 masks are more fit, which form a tight seal around nose and mouth, protects against small aerosolized or airborne particles. This respirator filtered out 95% of very small, like 0.3 micron particles. So, we will focus on this type of mask in our rest of conversation. So many international guidelines have reviewed and addressed the shortage of masks during global pandemic. The practice of wearing N95 mask for repeated close contact encountered with several patients or worn continuously throughout an entire shift known as extended use, and the practice of using mask for multiple encounters with patient but removing, storing and put on again prior to next encounter, or allowing mask to be removed and put back on multiple times. This is known as reuse. Now, the decision of implementing policy that permit extended use or limitedly use of N95 respirator should be made by the team of hospital infection control. Many healthcare setups around the globe are requiring their staff to reuse masks. But what are the risks associated with reuse? Now, according to CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the risk associated with reuse is contact transmission. The healthcare workers might touch the contaminated surface of respirator, then infect themselves by touching their face. One study found that nurse touches their face, eye, or N95 respirator on an average of 25 times per shift during extended use. Respirator can also be contaminated with other pathogens such as MRSA, which could also be transmitted through direct or indirect contact. To reduce the contact transmission, Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) has recommended a cleanable face shield over a respirator or N95 mask. An important factor to wash our hands before and after touching respirators and donning and doffing of personal protective equipment, obviously. As there are short supply of masks, is there any way to decontaminate mask to extend the life of available supply? And decontamination must not compromise the fitting of mask, and it must maintain the ability of prevent a small aerosolized particle like viruses. In 2009, a team of NIOSH, which called an National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, reported that single treatment with hydrogen peroxide vapor UV or dry heat below 100 degrees Celsius did not affect the ability of mask to filter small particle, but they did not look at whether their treatment protocol were effective at decontaminating or the effect of proper fit of mask. This study paved the way for future investigation. A group of universities has released the procedure of sterilize the N95 mask using H2O2 vapor. The technique showed in this study did not alter the fit of mask. It left no residual other than water drop, and it provided proper decontamination. Although they did not use on coronavirus, but they tested using other biological indicator. Using this technique, they were able to repurpose 500 masks in one roughly 4 cycle. They also suggested that more masks could undergo this process at least 30 times without loss of fit. A team of researchers also examined several methods for disinfecting masks. They started heating the mask in oven. The rationale for this relatively simple. Many studies showed that COVID-19 began to degrade at approximately 65 degrees centigrade. They chose a temperature of 75 degrees centigrade. They found heating at 75 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes did not compromise the function of mask even after 20 times, although they used E. coli as surrogate for coronavirus in their study. Well, this is simple procedure, so they warned to not follow at home oven. They also tested UV lights. Previous studies suggested that repeated exposure to UV lights can lead to breakdown of the mask structure, but they found that 254 nanometer UV light for 30 minutes did not affect the filtering efficacy of mask even after 10 cycle. However, the group cautioned the limited penetration depth of UV light may affect the ability to disinfect particles deep inside the filter, so more research needed. Notably, alcohol and chloride-based disinfectants such as bleach interfere with electrostatic change on mask, which is important component of filter and reduce the function. In addition, mask retain bleach residual, which could be harmful to the wearer. So these are good sterilizing option for hard surface. They should not be used to clean N95 mask. A last option that has been suggested but not well studied. Leave the mask dry for several days. This is based on idea that virus need moisture to remain viable. We don't know about COVID-19 remain viable on fabric, but it lasts on cardboard on 24 hours. So leaving mask to dry for 2 to 3 days considerably virus no longer infectious. However, it is important to understand that this process won't remove the infectious agent which present on mask. And another, the hospital has to dedicate a dedicated space for drying that particular mask. To summarize this session, I would suggest that the decision of disinfecting N95 mask is depend on the Hospital Infection Prevention Control Committee. So thank you very much for watching my video. Stay safe, stay healthy.